Strict rules Charli D'Amelio must follow to be a TikTok star. Charli D'Amelio is a 16-year-old girl, known famously as the Queen of TikTok. Within the first year of posting her first video on the platform, she rose to fame with over 60 million followers. She was originally from Norwalk, Connecticut, and currently resides with her family in an undisclosed town. Since her quick rise to fame, she now lives in the Hype House with stars like Hudson, Connor Yates, Alex Warren, Addison Rae, Avani Gregg, Wyatt Xavier, Daisy Keech, Ryland Storms, Nick Austin, Andreas Lopez, Tony Lopez, Kovar Anand, Thomas Petru, Calvin Golby, James Wright, Jack Wright, and finally, Patrick Huston. It may seem easy to be a TikTok star nowadays, but there are actually certain rules Charli has to maintain to stay in the spotlight. Here are some crazy strict rules that Charli D'Amelio must follow to be a TikTok star.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Number 7. No partying in the Hype House. When you are, or were 16 years old, can you remember the urge to let loose and party till the sun came up in the morning? Maybe lose yourself to the music and bass thumping through the speakers, or sneak some cheap and nasty wine out of your mother's wine cabinet? Unfortunately, Charli isn't allowed to have or host parties at the Hype House along with any other member of the Hype House. TikTok star Thomas Petru states that if you want to party, there are hundreds of houses that throw parties in LA every weekend. We don't want to be that. It's not in line with anyone in this house's brand. The house is about creating something big, and you can't do that if you're going out on the weekends. Can you imagine having a huge mansion with your friends and not throwing it down every once in a while? She is allowed to go to any other parties that are not taking place at the Hype House. However, it's probably best she stays out of parties for now, until she's a bit older. Safety first. They also wanted to not be compared alongside the disastrous and chaotic household owned by Jake Paul, known as Team 10, which brought big legal trouble to Jake Paul. We will get into that a bit later into the video. Number 6. Continuous content. Another part of living in the Hype House is yet another rule that Charli must follow. The rule is producing content constantly. Charli has to make at least 3 TikTok videos a day. When you think about it from their position, it makes sense. The main reason the Hype House even got started was for the idea to combine lots of popular and creative minds under just one roof, making way for endless trends and collabs to be done. It makes you wonder if any of the Hype House members ever get a blank mind for creating TikToks, due to the fact of how many they have to produce a day. Another thing worth mentioning is that if you've ever created a TikTok, you know how long it can take to get those shots just right. I wonder how long it takes them out of their day to produce this content, not to mention it has to be good. There is a rumor that if the Hype House members don't maintain a certain statistic of followers, they risk being kicked out of the Hype House. Either you stay relevant in that house or get kicked to the curb. I'm sure Charli will stay for a long time though due to her 60 million followers.
What happened, Einstein?
I can't because my leg is stuck.
You're stuck? Show everyone what you were doing.
Oh, I'll show you. Wait, my phone's gonna fall.
This is what kids are doing when they're under quarantine. I don't think this is a good idea.
Number 5. Family first. Aside from having rules from the legendary Hype House, she still has to listen to her family and obey their requests. This is understandable considering how young she is. Can you imagine being 16, filthy rich, and having no one to tell you what to do? Yikes. First of all, the main rule Charli has to follow from her family is that she has to sleep at home. Charli is allowed to spend as much time as she needs with her fellow content creators over at the Hype House. However, she must lay her head to rest at their family home. This is a good security measure considering that she could have a crazy fan incident or worse. Another family rule is that even though she is filthy rich and famous all before turning 18 years old, she has to finish her education at her high school. It's very important that she goes through to continue her education. After all, fame doesn't always last forever. Can you imagine dropping out in the middle of your high school career to make TikTok videos? Doesn't sound like the smartest plan in the long run. unless you plan on being famous and relevant on platforms until you are 80 years old. Some people even say high school years are the best of your life. Understandingly, however, attending school while internet famous definitely has to have its drawbacks, like the invasion of privacy, for example. Poor Charli. Those years will fly by before she knows it, though. Number 4. Schedule. It's not as easy as it looks to be famous, especially internet famous at such a young age. Aside from having her school career schedule, Charli also has to follow the schedule of the Hype House. The weekends are prime filming time for the group collaborations, and attendance is both mandatory and crucial for staying relevant on the TikTok space. Charli must be able to wake up early to head over to the Hype House when it's filming time or risk losing exposure and vibe. It's really somewhat pitying to think that for the time during the week she's in school, and then comes the weekend, she has to devote most of her time to making TikTok videos. But that's what brings in the dough. She either has to keep up with the Hype House's schedule or head out. The simple reason behind the mandatory collaboration is that the collaborations are crucial for each and every Hype House member. By doing collaborations with each other, they make it a little bit easier to gain followers and send followers to another account, just by doing a video together and tagging each other. She also builds bonds with other Hype House members during this time. Did you know that when you are first accepted into the Hype House, that within 30 days, if you don't pass the vibe check, you get kicked out? Number 3. Be authentic. Having authenticity when you have a brand or an image to keep up is one of the most important key factors to have, or else you risk coming across as fake. The first part of this is that her content on TikTok pretty much has to be original on TikTok. Who wants to watch the same video scheme over and over but with different people on TikTok? That's how you lose followers, which might as well be unacceptable in the Hype House. She also has to follow the rule of being respectful. This might look easy, but Charli also has to be respectful to her haters. If she was trashing her haters as they trash her, sadly, she would end up with more haters. Number 2. Must pay rent. Think living in the Hype House was free just because you're famous? Think again. There is still rent to be paid. There are about 10 bedrooms with the Hype House, and each member has to put down about $900 a month for that room. Do the math, and that's an estimated amount of $9,000 a month. Even though it's not as expensive as Jake Paul's Team 10 home, it's still got a pretty hefty price tag on it. Considering how much Charli is worth, I doubt that she, or any of the other members of the Hype House, struggle to pay that. Just a reminder that 16-year-old Charli is worth a total of $4 million. That's so crazy to think about. Besides Charli herself, adding up all the net worths of all the members is probably over $10 million. That's a lot of cash for some internet videos. Charli, however, makes good use of her money, as she recently donated $50,000 to her hometown hospital in the wake of the novel coronavirus. How considerate and kind of her. Number 1. Avoid damages. Like mentioned before, Jake Paul had a house called Team 10 back in 2016, which was way before the Hype House was even thought of. For a bit of context, the team consisted of a group of people living in an $18,000 a month rental home. After a long time period of dangerous and flat-out stupid pranks took place through the neighborhood, complaints started rolling in, and rightfully so. They were being super destructive, and something had to be done. For this reason, the Hype House has a policy in place. You break it, you replace it, or pay for it. Granted, you have some time before you are required to take action for the breakage. Mistakes do happen. This rule, however, does keep everyone accountable for their actions when it comes to breaking things and the destruction of property. Watch your step, or fork over some big bucks. Seriously. Well, those were some of the crazy strict rules that Charli D'Amelio has to follow in order to continue to be a popular and thriving TikTok star. When you really think about all the rules that Charli has to abide by, do you think it's worth the dedication to be thriving on the internet and/or TikTok? Can you imagine how stressful it must be to be in that situation 24/7? To not be able to simply step away and hide? Let us know your opinions below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like below. Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell and turn it to all so you can be informed of all of our future videos. Thank you guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have an amazing day and stay safe.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.